Hey everyone, it's Saucy Rossy reporting in live from my cutting board. I made a delicious brisket dip. I want to show you exactly how I did it with my leftover brisket that I smoked. This was absolutely delicious, and I highly recommend you try it if you ever have some smoked brisket around. Hamburger also works perfectly fine for this recipe. Starting off, grab yourself a cast iron dish. Now, I know a lot of people always say you got to warm up your cast iron, but in this case, it's not the case. We're just going to throw in whatever meat we have already cooked. Now, if you're using hamburger, you do need to cook it first and drain off the grease, but that's not a big deal. It's a simple step. Then you're going to go in with your meat. So I threw in my brisket. I threw in some diced garlic, 2 cloves. I threw in 2 shallots. You can use red onion as well. And then I threw in half a stick of cream cheese. Then I grabbed this delicious Cows Creamery cheddar cheese, aged 1 year, and threw this stuff in. This stuff's fantastic cheese from Atlantic Canada. 10 out of 10, love it. Then I hit it with this Coastal Cookhouse maple bacon chili spice blend. This is one of my favorite spice blends, and I've been saving it just for something special, and I think this is the moment to finish off the package. Then I used Tyler's Hot Stuff Holy Jalapeno Relish. This stuff is just flavor packing. I got this at my local farmers market here in Halifax. If you're in Halifax, I highly recommend you go check out Tyler's products. He makes all kinds of jams, jellies, relishes, cowboy candy, all that kind of stuff. So it's fantastic. So we take this and we just throw it in the oven. Now I threw it in the oven at 350, checking it every 15 minutes. Where we are using a cast iron pan, you want to make sure you're mixing it regularly. We don't want the cheese to burn up on the side. You can see it's starting to stick there, but that's perfectly fine. Just by giving it the mix, that's enough to make sure it's not going to burn onto the cast iron pan. So go in there, get your spoon, your ladle, whatever you're using, messy, just move things around. Oh, you can also notice here, I threw in some cherry tomatoes as well. I forgot to film that earlier, but that's an additional touch that I threw into this dip. Now, I am using my oven for this, but you could easily use a barbecue or a smoker. That would also be a fantastic way to add additional flavor to this recipe. But, an oven at 350 works perfectly fine as well. Now, remember, though, you are using a cast iron pan, so watch out for that handle. It's super hot. Now, for this dip, I'm using Casa Bonita Cantina style spent grain corn chips. These are fantastic for dipping. I really, really like them. And here's the result. So after about an hour of just mixing it every 15 minutes or so, we get this ooey gooey chunky brisket dip. Nice and cheesy, some vegetables in there, just loaded with flavor. I'm pretty stoked about it. That initial dip I go in for there is kind of embarrassing, so I go back here for a fully loaded dip. Check this out. So when you're dipping into this brisket dip, it's nice and cheesy, but there's those huge hunks of smoked brisket, and those are just absolutely packed with flavor and delicious. So if you ever get a chance, try out this dip. You won't be disappointed. Super easy to make, super easy to clean up, absolutely delicious, and easy to feed a couple people. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and take care and stay safe.